This is JordangeVision. Pull up a seat and kick up your feet. Welcome, guys. How we doing? Hope you guys are ready for another episode of Beyond Belief Fact or Fiction. If you don't know what the show is, basically we see 5 stories, and we have to guess whether each one is either based on a true story or made up by their writers. Usually, I've gotten like a 3 out of 5. I've gotten a couple of 4 out of 5s. I slipped a little bit last time and got a 2. I've gotten the occasional 1. I've gotten 1-0. Hopefully that never happens again. Still trying to get that 5 out of 5. Maybe it happens with this episode right here. Let's see. We're on Season 2, Episode 11 now, very near to the end of Season 2, so let's see if we can do it. Let's get into the episode. Before I get started, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and don't forget, reacting to art is sharing art. Channels like these benefit everyone from the viewers all the way up to the original creators themselves. Also, a reminder, spoilers are likely, so if you haven't seen this episode yet and would like to, please feel free to click off and take care of that first. I'll be here when you get back, but for those of you who are sticking with me, pull up a seat, kick up your feet, and let's watch Beyond Belief Season 2, Episode 11. 11's always been my lucky number. Let's see if it's lucky tonight. Let's go.
Caution. The show you're about to see is headed for disaster.
Beyond not disaster on my score sheet.
Fact or fiction? One day we're discussing the sinking of great ships. The next we're contemplating comets headed toward the Earth. But disaster is like most things. Some people look at this drawing and see a high mountain safe from harm.
Yeah.
While others see a tunnel spiraling down into an endless abyss. Our stories in this show, and one suggestion. When evaluating whether they are true or false, take your perspective from the mountaintop, and at all costs, avoid having tunnel vision.
See what I can do.
Cheers, salut, skol, l'chaim. Whatever the language, whatever the culture, there's always a toast to good times, a design for celebration.
Cheers.
These life-affirming rituals are important because they give us hope for the future. Charles and Gwen Chandler have good reason to celebrate. They're alive due to the strangest of circumstances.
Okay, this sounds like a story.
It was when Gwen Chandler loved traveling with their good friends, the Delaney's, Philip and Margaret. Gwen and Charles couldn't think of anyone else they'd rather celebrate their 22nd wedding anniversary with.
22?
I'd like to propose a toast. Our dream honeymoon.
The one we had was fine.
Oh, where'd they go?
Honeymoon. It's more than just a story, Philip. It really happened.
Charlie?
It's fine, Gwen.
Beyond Belief Inception right now?
As we attempted to get out of bed, we couldn't separate our hands. That was when we noticed that our wedding rings had fused together.
They did what exactly?
It was
So
unbelievable.
like ring here,
well, rings
and
don't just fuse.
just stuck together.
We finally had to call a jeweler to our hotel room. He'd never seen anything like it.
Yeah, I don't think most people have.
He wanted to be very careful about not damaging the rings or our hands.
Once that's happened though,
By
then
we
how
were
do you not
very
damage the
worried
rings?
We were going to...
After sending for just the right tool, the jeweler was finally able to cut us free of the rings.
Our ship had sailed. We missed it by minutes.
Oh, that is the saddest story I've ever heard.
It was the luckiest thing that ever happened to us. You see, the ship that we were set to depart on was the
Oh, I
RMS
know.
Lusitania.
Oh, the
6
Lusitania, I know
days
that.
later, it is incredible.
That is actually a real ship that sunk.
Oh, look. Everyone's going to the observation deck.
Look at that view. It's absolutely spectacular.
I
Don't
can't
tell
believe
me,
I
is
had
it-
the slightest-
Is this the Hindenburg?
Here's to this great airship, the Hindenburg. Here, here.
It's practically standing still now. They've dropped ropes out of the nose of the ship.
Think this is actual audio here.
It burst into flame. Get it, Scotty. Get it, Scotty. It's fine. And it's fine. Well, this is one of the worst catastrophes in the world. It's a terrific crash, ladies and gentlemen. It's smoke and it's flames now. Oh, the humanity.
Charles and Gwen Chandler, who had escaped the fate of the Lusitania, leaped out of the frying pan and into the fire. Is this cruel joke based on an actual event, or have we ignited an explosion of lies?
Okay. I'm not gonna lie and say that I've heard of rings fusing together like that. I mean, maybe there's a scientific reason that something like that might happen. Maybe it got a little too hot in the room. Maybe the room is a little, hotter than average, and maybe they both kind of melted a little and stuck together. So I guess that's possible, I guess. I've never actually heard of that happening, but trying to think about how it might be able to happen, and, that's what I came up with. And I've heard about, like, coincidences like that, too. I know the Lusitania was a real thing, and of course the Hindenburg was a real thing. I'm sure more people have heard of the Hindenburg. I'm inclined to believe If they were making this up, they might have picked a more famous ship like the Titanic or something, and not the Lusitania, which is a little less famous. So I'm kind of thinking, it's very outrageous, but I'm kind of thinking I'm gonna go with true on this one. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. All right, one down. Let's check out the second story.
Have you ever visited a flea market, swap meet, or garage sale?
Many times.
To run a successful booth takes a combination of desirable merchandise, a positive attitude, and an irresistible charm.
Buy my crap.
Elmo P. Middleton had much to offer in all those
His
departments.
name is Elmo?
But despite all...
That was her dream. To go to a good school somewhere and make me proud. As if she hadn't done that already. I knew she was worried and anxious about what her future choices were going to be.
What was she looking at?
Molly turned on all her schoolgirl charm, but nothing seemed to be helping.
People have to want what you got.
We have been here for 3 hours, and we haven't even sold a lampshade.
Mom, the day is not over yet.
I don't
You
know,
be all
honey.
optimistic.
This may not have been one of my best ideas.
Better than nothing.
All you got here is just a bunch of regular junk. I don't see anything special in the whole lot.
Okay, Simon Cowell.
You are going to go to college. We'll find a way.
Oh, that sounds like a Rip Taylor horn.
That was when we first saw him. The man in the Model T.
How you doing, Rip? Oh,
Did you feel that?
is that an
Feel what?
earthquake?
Actually, I didn't feel anything. Maybe next time.
Maybe next time I'll feel the earthquake.
Anything you see you like, anything you like you see. Come on, folks, take a gander.
How much for that gramophone?
How much you got?
Believe that when I see it.
No matter what people asked for, Mr. Middleton would repeat those same
How
words.
much you got? Hey, come on in, there's plenty of room.
So, if someone answers they got a penny, would that be enough?
It's a lovely lamp, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
How much would a lamp like that cost?
Well, how much have you
What you
got?
got?
Oh,
Molly.
how'd you know my name? Like
I was wondering,
said,
did
I
she
couldn't
tell him her
buy
name?
Anything.
How much money you got in your pocket?
$3.
Sold to the beautiful little lady.
And she didn't actually consent to the sale.
Enjoy it.
Okay, maybe she sells
Molly
that
told
for
me
more
later
then.
that she was. There was just something about him that she liked and trusted.
Used car salesman. That's about as used a car as you can get.
Mr. Middleton, wait, you forgot your chest!
It belongs to you, Molly. It comes with the lamp.
Okay. There's something good in the chest?
Mom, look at this.
Titanic.
Oh my God. This could be worth a fortune. Look, it's so old.
Wow, there's tons of stuff in there.
Molly's great-grandfather was one of the passengers
That whole
lost
chest
on the
is-
Titanic. He had a handlebar mustache too,
Wait,
just
wait.
like Mr. Middleton. His name was Marvin L. Juergens.
No way.
Oh my God.
That's our
Molly,
great-grandfather's
this was your
stuff.
great-grandfather.
The Titanic artifacts proved to be authentic and paid for Molly's college education. But who was Elmo P. Middleton? Was he really the spirit of a long-lost relative of the Juergens family? Or was he just an old man who had a soft spot for a struggling mother and daughter?
I mean, that's a pretty incredible story if true. I could believe that, her great-grandfather was on the Titanic and whatever. But it's kind of weird that, this random guy shows up and she buys a lamp from him and says, hey, this chest comes with the lamp and all that. And the chest just happens to contain stuff owned by, her ancestor. That's kind of a lot to believe. And like I said during the last story, if you're going to make a story up, make it a really famous ship like the Titanic. And as it turns out, the Titanic's mentioned in the next one. So, that alone is not enough for me to say that this is fiction, but just all the coincidence. It's hard to find a guy too who's selling stuff and will sell it for basically any price too. So, people like that are hard to come by. Like even at the garage sale. So, So yeah, I think I'm gonna say this is a little too much for me to believe, and I'm going to mark it as fiction. All right, we got 2 down now. We'll check out story number 3 in the meantime. I'm guessing these all have a similar theme as well.
Today, news reports travel at lightning speed around the world and back again at the flick of a switch. But at the turn of the century, the last century, that is, news came by way of the telegraph, like this.
Another old-timey one, I guess.
Jack Hogan is a reporter who needs a good story. But the only one he can come up with is in his dreams. Those dreams are about to become nightmares.
Sure, make up the news.
It was a Monday morning in 1883, and I couldn't find a story to save my life. It wasn't my fault that nothing much was happening in the world that day.
I bet something's about to happen in the world that day.
Everybody else seemed to have a story. Or were they just trying to impress old man Trapwell, the managing editor of the journal?
Work.
Maybe they're all making it up.
Clickety-clack, clickety-clack, that's the way to go, Roy. Wally, listen.
He could be typing anything. Could be gibberish.
I can't find a story.
That's ridiculous, my boy. I mean, a good reporter can find a story anywhere. I mean, look out the window. That's Philadelphia, one of the biggest cities in the country. Show some initiative, son.
Breaking, a bird flies by my window. I'll never get it. Never.
Nothing came in over the wire that night. I really needed to find a story, but I was exhausted. I lay down on the couch, closed my eyes for a minute.
So you're gonna find one in your dreams.
Right.
Yeah, where would this volcano be? I don't think there's any volcanoes in Philadelphia.
My dream, I decided to write it all down. I thought maybe I could sell it as a short story. I wrote of a beautiful tropical island called Pralape. It's an
Sounds
idyllic
Hawaiian.
day in paradise.
Maybe it is Hawaiian.
An entire mountain exploded in a cataclysmic volcanic eruption.
I wonder if, like, the next morning someone's gonna find this and think it's a real story, and then it ends up being a real story anyway.
In less than an hour, all I wanted to do was go home and get some sleep.
You just got some sleep.
I made the mistake of leaving my work of fiction in the typewriter.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Copy boy made his usual rounds, which meant stopping at my desk for any late copy.
We pay special
Mr.
attention to
Trapwell
this
read
one.
the story that
This could be the biggest scoop in years. Joey!
I mean, is that really news for a Philadelphia newspaper?
Congratulations, Jack. Your story is sweeping the country. It's our scoop. We printed it first.
He's like, uh-oh.
What story?
Your story about the volcano erupting on that island of Pralape.
Yeah, that's my story.
That's not. It was a dream I had, and I wrote it all down. I was gonna sell it as a short story.
I can't print a retraction. It'll become a laughing stock.
I know, but it never happened.
He didn't actually submit it.
I could cheerfully break your neck, Hogan. Say the
Like,
word.
don't you have fact checkers?
Mr. Trapwell had no choice but to prepare the retraction. He was about to send it out over the wire when a report came in about unusually high waves hitting the coast of California.
Hey, Joey, bring me back that copy.
Wait. We're based in California?
It told of a cataclysmic event that had taken place somewhere in the Indian Ocean.
Oh, maybe
Throughout
not.
the day, there.
Somebody get me Jack Hogan. There was a volcanic eruption in the Straits of Sunday yesterday. Happened on an island called Krakatoa, just west of Java.
Krakatoa, yeah.
What's going on?
Krakatoa.
But the natives call it Pralape.
Oh, is that real?
Was Jack Hogan psychic? Did he actually have a premonition of the volcanic eruption? Or was it just a dramatic coincidence? If so, how could he have dreamed the original name for Krakatoa? A name so obscure he couldn't have possibly known it beforehand.
Yeah, it's kind of the same. Like, I've heard of Krakatoa, but I haven't heard of Pralape. I think the Krakatoa erupting is a historic thing. I don't know exactly what time that was. It might have been 1883, like the story said. So I have heard of that. Have I heard of a reporter predicting it? No. I think stranger things have happened. Like, sometimes you have a feeling something's going to happen and then it happens, Like, if you do predict something like that, I don't know how specific you'd be with all the names and stuff, like how you'd actually get the original name right, like Pralape. This show does take liberties about changing names and changing minor details, so maybe not all of it is completely true, but maybe it is based on an actual prediction. So I'm thinking I'm going to mark this down as true as well. Okay, I've got my answers on the first three. I think I got pretty good instincts on these ones, so let's check out the fourth one.
Flight on an airplane can be a great escape from the pressures of the world, especially if you're traveling for pleasure. Beth McGuire is going on vacation. She's flown many times before to Europe, Asia, and beyond, but she's about to take off on a trip where the final destination is beyond belief.
Can't wait for this one.
I couldn't believe I was finally getting on the plane. It was a vacation I had dreamed about for a long time.
Where you
A
going?
whole week, just me, lying on a white sand beach in the South Pacific, drinking pina coladas.
You're really good right now. If you've ever experienced a Canadian winter, you know what I'm talking about.
Ma'am, the first class section is up here.
First class? I didn't pay for first class.
Oh, you must have been upgraded.
Well,
Lucky
fine.
already.
Nobody said it.
Ma'am, I'm sorry, you're in the wrong seat.
Wait, what?
3B is the aisle seat.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize.
It's no problem.
Say, or maybe you're not first class.
Sitting on the aisle.
She has a feeling.
No. All kinds of new things were happening to me. Like a personal visit from the pilot.
Why is the pilot not flying the plane?
Are you enjoying the flight so far?
Yes, I am.
It's always a good idea to keep your seatbelt fastened. You never know when we might hit a small pocket of turbulence.
Thank you.
Yeah, it might happen if the pilot's not flying the plane.
Didn't you see him?
No, I didn't.
Well, he was right there.
Maybe it was a ghost?
About an hour away from beginning our descent into Oahu International Airport. We have a 2-hour stopover.
We're going to Tahiti.
Continue on to
Oh,
Tahiti.
yeah, it's a stopover, okay.
After I just couldn't shake the anxiety. I was so uptight.
Attention all passengers, please return to
Hide in the bathroom. Wait,
What was happening to me?
what's going on?
Excuse me. Did the captain's announcement mean that we're beginning our descent into Oahu early?
What announcement? I didn't hear any announcement.
Oh, come on, what are you talking about? But I heard it in the
She
bathroom.
hears the
It must
captain
have
and
been
sees
out
the
here,
captain.
too.
I mean, if he made the announcement, why is everybody still walking around the cabin?
Because they're idiots?
Are you
I don't know. Here come the stairs again.
Tighten your seatbelt.
Oh, what's in it? Yeah, saw this coming.
I looked for the man seated next to me, but he was gone. A mechanical
Oh,
malfunction
wow.
tore a door loose and ripped a gaping hole in the body of the plane. The fuselage and roof had been ripped off the
Well, it's a
aircraft.
good thing she didn't sit
I
in
was
that
holding
seat.
on for
A handful of passengers, including Beth McGuire, miraculously survived that flight. But the 4 rows of passengers in front of Beth were lost, as was the passenger in the seat next to hers. A seat she almost took.
All right. This is one I'm kind of going back and forth with in my head. On one hand, like I'm sure something like that could happen. Like, a plane tears apart in the air and, some people get lost and some people survive, if they have their seatbelts on or whatever. Like that much I could believe. But how do like some people hear the captain and see the captain and some don't? That's what I'm kind of struggling with. It's a hard one. I guess it's possible, like, like an announcement comes across the PA and, some people aren't paying attention or whatever. Like that happens sometimes. Like, they're engrossed in their movie. I don't know what year this took place in. It looked a little more modern than the other stories did. But, maybe people had their distractions or whatever, and some people heard the announcement and some didn't. I think I'm gonna go true. Okay, we got one more. Let's do it.
Next, ability to project tornado watches and hurricane warnings have saved thousands of lives.
Yeah,
But there are
that's
always people who are
incredible
still
technology now.
People like Luis's favorite words are buenos dias, Spanish for good day. But a good day is the last thing Luisa is having.
Local high school as it cut a 10-mile swath across southeast Texas yesterday. Dozens
believe a
are
tornado
still
happening in
reported
Texas,
missing,
'cause,
according to the Texas.
Hello, is there somebody down there? Is there anybody down there?
Say something, girl.
Skip. Yeah, maybe you're right.
You heard something.
Wait. We got one.
Yeah, there she is.
Honey,
I am Louisa.
All right, Louisa. Now, don't you worry. We're going to get you out of there. She must be trapped in the basement.
Help me, please. I am hungry. I'm
Basement's a good place to be during a tornado.
Something hit your head?
Yes, it's bleeding.
No.
Please get me out of here.
I'm just thinking, please rescue the girl.
So tired. I want my grandpa.
I know, it's gonna be
Oh,
okay,
no.
Louisa. Now try and stay awake for me, okay, honey?
It was urgent
Trying
that
to
I
talk through
keep
these stories.
Louisa
I'm having
awake.
trouble
She
with this
might
one.
have had a coma.
I'm feeling
I know
this.
how old she
I want my grandpa.
Oh, is this your grandpa's house?
Yes.
Stay with him.
Went away. Every morning, my grandpa wakes me up all happy and says, "Buenos dias, Luisa." I wish I could hear him now.
Talk to me, Louisa.
It's like, I'm worried about Grandpa now.
Louisa? Listen, I got a little girl named Louisa, and she's trapped in the debris of her house. She keeps asking for her grandfather. Now, look, you gotta find him and try and get him over here as soon as possible, all right? Back just as soon as you find out. Louisa, honey, can you hear me? Louisa?
She's fading.
The center called back, but the news wasn't good. Luisa's grandfather's body was found yesterday, a victim of the tornado.
Got it.
Can't tell her that while she's down there, can you?
Roger, I can't get a response. I'm afraid we're losing her.
We're digging as fast as we can, Skip. It's going to take time.
All right. Louisa? Louisa, honey, come on. Talk to me, sweetheart.
Buenos dias, Luisa.
Oh, this is killing me.
Buenos dias, Luisa.
Buenos dias, grandfather.
She hears him.
Dias, Luisa.
Did they hear him too?
Where the heck's that coming from?
Luisa continued to hear her grandfather's voice calling out, "Buenos dias, Luisa." It was the only thing that kept her awake until we finally broke through and pulled her out.
Glad they got her out. This was really...
Where's my grandpa?
Buenos dias, Luisa.
Parrot?
Dias, Luisa.
That's Pedro, my grandfather's parrot.
No.
Pedro, where's grandpa?
Speechless, man.
Could this, in the delirium of her fear, could Louisa have imagined it was her late grandfather's voice? Or did the grandfather somehow transfer his spirit to the parrot in order to save his precious granddaughter?
I was not expecting that today. Oh. Alright. Okay. Set the emotions aside for a minute. Do I think that could have happened? Well, there was a parrot story before on the show where the parrot, like, incriminated a murderer. And, you know, this story is much sweeter, obviously, where the parrot, you know, repeats the grandfather's words, and that's what she heard that, you know, helped her pull through. Like, a parrot mimicking someone is not unbelievable at all. Like that's documented. Like, it's a pretty incredible story. I thought it was a little unbelievable at the time when, you know, the workers heard the Buenos Dias, Lisa, too. But of course the parrot is a logical explanation for that now. So I was kind of thinking fiction at the time, but now I don't know. Like, it's still a pretty incredible story. But do I believe it happened? Of course, I have 3 truths already. Do I want to risk guessing a 4th? There have been episodes where there have been 4 truths, but do I think this is one of them? I think I do. I'm gonna say true as well. So, I have 1, 3, 4, 5 as true. I only have story number 2 as fiction. Let's see what we got. Let's see how I did.
Let's take another look at our stories and find out which ones are fact and which ones are fiction. What about the story of the unlucky couple who survived the Lusitania, only to celebrate aboard the Hindenburg?
You see, the ship
So is that
was
true?
set to depart to the luckiest people in the world, our best friends, the Chandlers.
Knowing what
Did
happens
the tale
now.
of these fated passengers really happen? No. We made it up.
Okay.
Let's see a glimpse of the story of the strange man at the swap meet.
So I said fiction on this one. Oh, that stare.
It's a lovely land.
How much would a lamp like that cost?
Well, how much have you got?
Is this plot of the couple who found treasures in a most unexpected way based on an actual event? No. This one was invented by a writer.
That one. 1 for 2.
Let's look back at the news reporter who had the premonition of a volcanic explosion. Was it true or false?
So I said true.
There are reports of tidal waves coming in from all over the world.
Was this story based on a real event? Yes, it's true.
So that's 2.
How about the story of the woman who seemed to be watched over by angels on an ill-fated flight?
So I said true on this as well.
3B is the aisle seat.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize.
It's no problem.
I wonder, was the seat she thought she had
The window. I don't mind sitting on the aisle.
also in danger?
No, thank you. I'm fine here.
Do you think that this was based on a similar event? You're right.
Yes. So that's 3. Chance for another 4.
What of the story about the little girl kept alive by the words Buenos Dias? How did you judge that?
Louisa, honey, come on, talk.
Judge it as sad, but true.
You hear that?
Yeah.
Where in the heck's that coming from?
I don't know.
Is this saga of a parrot who saves a girl's life inspired by an actual event? Not this now. It's fiction.
Oh, you had me. But I still got 3.
So how was your judgment? Did you guess them all right, or was your score a disaster? Just demonstrate
Pretty average
the
for
truth
me.
of fiction.
Hey guys, well thank you for tuning into this episode. I was not expecting to get a little emotional today. But yeah, that one story was just a little much. Another average one for me, another 3 out of 5. I couldn't quite get the 5 again, but not quite a disaster as Jonathan kind of implied there. Yeah, I'll take another 3. Means I'm doing, just about as well as anybody else is. So thank you guys so much. There's 2 episodes left in season 2 of Beyond Belief Factor Fiction. Hope you'll join me for those. But until then, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Check out my sports vlogging channel, JordangeVlogs. And until next time, this is Jordan saying you can be productive sitting at home on your couch. All you need is a TV, a great catalog, and a vision. This has been JordangeVision. Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.